What is going on, guys? It's been a while. This is a 39-gallon high tank in my living room, and as you can see, I did do a water top off, and you can see where the line was. Yeah, that job at the dealership, it's cost me. So I am doing a video about how it's cost me and what I've been having to do slowly with my little spare time at home to manage my tanks, and I'm slowly trying to get that out. So what I will tell you about this tank is that I've got, I think they're called Pandagoras. My friend Melanie will probably correct me if I'm wrong here soon. They're kind of a loach. They are a loach. They're very small. I threw them in here somewhere. 6 of them, and you're probably not going to see them right now. But that's okay, because this video is not about that. So that's the tank. What I want you guys to see is a video that never aired. I made this video for Michael's fish room. I was actually in contact with Michael back and forth, and he kind of led me to believe that if he liked my video, he would play it on his, he's got a series called the Michael's Fish Room Tour, like where you send him a video, and if he likes your video of your fish room, then he'll ask you to make a better one, and he'll put it on, and he'll promote your channel if you have one. So we went back and forth on the email, and the emails led me to believe that would happen, and that slowly he would play my video. And it may be what I did in my video that he didn't like, or maybe that he's just not gotten to it yet. But I was under the impression that, you know, in a matter of a few months, or a couple, well, not even a few months, within a matter of a few weeks, I felt I should have seen it played, but instead other ones got played instead. And it's cool, man. I mean, if there's something that he didn't like about my video, I'm okay with it. I still like the guy, I like his channel, I think he's hilarious. But man, I put in a little work, you know. He gave me a time limit to keep it to like no more than 11 minutes. And so I did. My fish room, as you guys know, I don't really have a necessarily like display, like really nicely scaped tanks, especially now. But it's a fish room. It's a work room, and so that's what I showed and explained. And from what I've seen, is the ones that other videos that have gone in or onto his channel that he's actually promoted. They're cool, man. The tanks are awesome. They're scaped, and all these guys got like 20-minute videos. So I did something wrong apparently, or maybe he is gonna play it. Maybe I put this out, and the next thing you know, this video is airing on Michael's Fish Room. Well, not this one here, not this part, but the one I'm about to show you. And if that's the case, then hey man, sorry Michael, I just, you know, getting pressed for time. I want to put some content out on my channel, and worked my ass off in editing to get this one out. So, I hope you guys enjoy. It's the Michael's Fish Room tour guide of my fish room that never aired. It's going to air on my channel, 210 Aquatics. Enjoy, guys. Talk to you soon. Welcome, Fishy Folk Nation. Can't tell you how excited I am to be able to give you a virtual fish room tour of my fish room right here on the Michael's Fish Room channel. My name's Anthony. This is my fish room. I'm going to give you a quick layout of my fish room, but for now, good idea to go get that healthy snack and beverage. Alright, let's do it. As you come into this 10 by 10 room, you'll see you have a tank right here at the door to the right. Probably not the best idea, but there's the door, there's the tank, and here we go. If you pan over here to the left, you'll see I have a 10-gallon in the closet as well. 2 tanks right here on the left on the window, and then there's one facing the window right there. And then We walk across to get to the other side of the rack, and I haven't had anybody have a problem getting through there thus far. Unorthodox style, I do admit, but I didn't want to go 3 rows up, so this is the way I had to do it. And these are my air bubblers. Most of them are all right here. Better than putting them all respectively on top of their respective tanks. That was a mess. My heater, keep it at 80 degrees in here with my AC acting as the DQ for now. Working some baby brine shrimp right there in the hatchery. And the J-hook for the Python fill and clean on a maintenance day. I'm filling that tank right now, and I drain the tanks using a 1/10 horsepower external pump, which sends the water out of the room and all the way into the very next room, which is my guest bathroom, right here into the tub. That's all you need to see there. More fishies for you. Back into the fish room. So there's the J-hook. Like I said, that's a lot of help to have that if you're going to do the Python. In this tank right here, it's a 20 long. I call this my miscellaneous tank. Pretty much I've got fish in here that don't have anywhere else to put them for the moment. Take note of the high kingfin leery tail there with the high dorsal. Nice orange fish. That light orange on the bottom is a Siamese algae eater. But the high kingfin, we'll talk about that later. I've got gouramis in here, some rainbows as well. In this 20 long tank, it's a sandy bottom, which I do regret because these fish stir it up. These fish really do belong in a bigger tank, and I'm working towards that. A display tank in my living room, hopefully. But these are Irian Reds or Millennium Reds. Probably mutts because, they were basically spawned from either one of those 2 fish that were all in the same tank. Polar blues. Love these fish. They're half parrot cichlids and convicts, and they stay kind of small. They're really cool. And I got some Australian blues in there as well, and some Cory cats. But I love that tank. Right next to it is a 10-gallon. I do have a breeding pair of black laced angels in my living room, and this is a small clutch that they put out, and I've just been growing them out here with all this guppy grass. They're about dime size now, and they're almost ready to come out. But I love this tank. It's a really cool looking tank when you come into the room. It just pops. And so yeah, just growing them out. Can't wait to see what they look like as they get bigger. Right next to this tank, I've got what I call a Lucas Brett tank. And it's a no filter tank. Here we go. It's a no filter tank. I do have an air bubbler in it just that I put on at night if I can remember. But in this, I've got the tangerine swords, which you'll see the male here in a minute. I do need a root tab on this sword plant. The snails are telling me that. There you go. There's a high dorsal fin sword. But because he's not a leery tail, he's not a high kingfin leery tail. So all these fish do have the genetics in them to produce high kingfin leery tails. So anyways, the parents are in there putting out fish for me. And that is a big bird of paradise plant in a tank. That's another story for another video some other time. Got dwarf sage in there, and that sword plant also has gone immersed on me a couple of times. But anyways, those leery tails are cool. Again, we'll talk about them again here in a minute. Right here, I've got my 2 parent gouramis. That's the blue female, and the gold male is there somewhere, but I don't think he's going to come into the shot. I've also got albino bristlenose plecos in here, but I'm about to move them into another tank, and then I'll be able to go back and review some of Michael's tips and tricks on how to set up my tank properly so I can get these guys to breed for me. But for now, I'm just making sure they've got full bellies. Alright, we just pan on over here and go to the, let's go to the 50, or the 55 rather, a huge sword plant. Got some fluidized filters going on there, hang on back, and a huge sponge filter. And what can I tell you, this sword plant here actually had a bunch of runners, some dwarf sage also there at the bottom to the left. And I'm trying to get a tank set up with some CO2 now. I think I want to go into that direction and start propagating plants. But in this tank I also have some beautiful marble veil angels, and this is just a really cool shot of them eating. And they'll eat anything, bloodworms, not anything, bloodworms, baby brine. I can go on and on about what I feed them. This here is the 10-gallon in the closet. This is a Lamprologus ocellatus gold. A friend of mine turned me on to them. I lost the female. I want to breed them. They're a small, rare cichlid, and they're shell dwellers. That is a comfortable hoodie. But with Texas heat approaching, I'm due for a short sleeve here soon. This 20 high down at the bottom has some Marble Veil Angels, which I'm just trying to get some of these guys to pair up. Pretty simple tank on that. Right above them here, I purchased these angelfish off of Aquabid. They were listed as Philippine Blues, but I'm having second thoughts about that listing. They look like platinums to me. If anybody wants to chime in on that, let me know. I mean, maybe not all Philippine Blues color up. Ferocious eaters, though. Beautiful fish. Moving on, coming around here to the other side of the rack. That 10-gallon with all the guppy grass. Let's look at that. I call that my Nano Tank. In here, I've got a bunch of dwarf top minnows. They're live bearers. This is as big as they get. And I've got them in here with cherry shrimp. And everybody gets along just fine. Check this guy out. Just call that shrimp a cosmonaut. Cherry shrimp are really cool. I could just sit here and watch this tank for a good 30-40 minutes. It's happened. I've done it. But I love this tank. I think I started off with 10 dwarf top minnows, and now I've got like about 100 in there. Off over in here to these 40 breeders. Running a canister filter on this one because I had about 70 Marble Veil Angels in here. I put 50 in a store here last week, and I've been retailing the rest of them off. So it's kind of empty right now, but that's what's going on in here. And that canister is going to stay on this because in the next 40 breeder, you'll see I've got a bunch of Marble Angels here. They're about quarter size, dime to quarter. There's about 300 of them. Now, I've sold 150 already. They just haven't come for them yet. But I'm going to split this tank up and put some more. I'm going to divide it up and put some of these guys in that 40 breeder right next door to the right. So that's the plan for that. And then up against the wall here on this 20 long, I'll cover the crypts real quick first. They weren't doing so well. And then I found out that if I just took this light instead of having it right on the glass, because I was getting algae too, I elevated the light the way it is. And now they're starting to grow and thrive. Happy about that. But these fish are live bearers, wild type, Goodyear lion's eye, on the CARES list, classified as critically endangered in the wild. That's due to the all the development that's going on in the northern mountains of Mexico. But the males color up fabulous around their tail area. It's a really cool fish. And I'm happy to say I've put some of these fish in other homes. So you'll only eventually see them in aquariums with hobbyists and enthusiasts. This is a 20 long here. Got some bacopa right there, dwarf sage and some guppy grass. And these are 2 female and 1 male gouramis, my breeding project. They're half blue, half gold, thanks to Big Daddy and Blue Mama. And so I'm just trying to color morph them. If you put the light on them just right, you'll see there's a purple sheen. And so hopefully in a couple of generations I'll have some really purple gouramis. We'll see. Last but not least, these are the rest of the fry from the Tangerine Swords there in the 20 with the big bird of paradise next door. They're still putting out fry in that tank, but I've since moved a bunch of them over into this tank. And again, just a small percentage of them will become and develop the high kingfin leery tail look. Besides that, you'll get male swords. Some of them will have the high fin as well, like that guy doesn't. He's just got the sword. So we just call them Tangerine Swords. But this tank pops. If you got a bunch of these guys in a tank as a display tank, your eyes will see it immediately. That's why I love this fish. They're beautiful. Check them out. So in a nutshell, that is my fish room. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me and here in Michael's fish room. Hope I at least was able to provide you a little bit of entertainment and some pretty cool scenery. love life, take care.